My name is John Roshek. I'm the president of Michigan Open Carry Incorporated, address Oxford, Michigan. I'd like to thank the board for taking a couple minutes to hear me on the topic. I'd like to address the issue of the illegal banning firearms and parks. This goes back to last summer. Michigan Open Carry hosted a picnic in the township. Mr. Grab, I believe you and I have exchanged emails since then. I would like to just put on the record that the city did go back on its word from the August edition of the Macomb Daily when they went on record stating that they would right away investigate the ordinance and become in line with state firearm laws. To this point, they have not done that. I have sent a couple follow-up emails as far as repealing the illegal ordinance, and basically have gotten nowhere. And to my knowledge, the ordinance is still in the books. I would just like to know if this is still in the process of being repealed, and what kind of timeline the people can expect for the township to become in line with the state.
Mr. Roshek, normally we don't answer during this time frame, but did you send any emails to myself?
Yes. Yep.
Follow-up?
Yes.
Yep. I don't remember getting the follow-ups. If I did, I would have sent them on to Mr. Galassi so we could schedule it, and we'll put it through into our system so that we can start to work on that.
Yeah, I
do
do
remember we clearly stated that we understood what the issue was, and you guys had your picnic at the park without any incident or issues. And we had also spoke to the sheriff's department, got everyone's opinion, and put ourselves in a position and said we had no problems complying with federal laws through the state, and that we would work on doing that repeal. The repeal process does, in fact, take some time, and we've had a number of issues that we've worked on that are quite diligent that we need to. This was something that we didn't consider was urgent, as we all clearly understood through our legal counsel, the sheriff's department legal counsel, that we weren't going to be enforcing this issue. And we know it's on our books. Our counsel had clearly clarified it with us, so we wouldn't be enforcing it until we're able to actually get that repeal off the books, off the law.
The issue with the picnic that we did have, there were no incidents, that's correct. In fact, a number of the officers, two of them in particular, came out and were very supportive and wanted more information on open carry. There were, however, definitely issues and multiple conversations that I had to have with Parks and Rec supervisor, the undersheriff, to straighten out the issue that we did. And I do have copies of the email that we have exchanged. My concern is, for the township, however, is that leaving the illegal ordinance on the books and willfully knowing about it could be considered an act of malfeasance and willfully misleading the public, because they're still on the books. So anyone that would not know better would see the ordinance and assume that this is something that's legal and unenforceable, when in fact that it's not. We've worked with many cities throughout the state in a much shorter period of time than Macomb Township, and they have, start to finish, already repealed those ordinances off the books. So that's my concern for the township, that so far there has been no action on that.
We will take your request in consideration under advisement.
I appreciate it.
With our legal counsel. You do understand, I mean, this has been an item that has come into the newspapers. This is still relatively very new for residents throughout Michigan.
Which makes it very important for the people to know that open carry of a firearm is legal in Michigan, and actually has been legal for far longer than concealed pistol license has been around. So, but I appreciate the board taking the time to hear me on the issue. I thank you.
Do you, by chance, also carry a concealed weapons permit simultaneously with the open carry requirements, or are these two separate?
You are not required to have a concealed pistol license to open carry in Michigan. Myself personally, I do have a concealed pistol license. The only requirement for open carry is that you are 18 and older, and that the firearm is legally registered to you, and that it is carried in plain view.
Okay. And and the CCW or the concealed pistol permit clearly states that it has to be concealed.
Actually, that is incorrect. The concealed pistol license merely offers you another option to carry. With CPL, you can conceal that weapon. You can also carry openly. You do not forfeit your right to open carry by having a concealed pistol license. It just awards the individual another option.
All right, we appreciate your information, and we will, in fact, bring it forward. If you would follow up with me on an email so that I can trigger that into my system. I request every day, so it does understand the overwhelming growing township that we have. So if you would please.
Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Any other comments at this time?
Macomb Township. First, I'd like to ask permission if I could come up and hand a packet to each one of the trustees concerning the firearm laws.
Sure, if you'd like to drop it at the end of the, end here.
What I've enclosed in that packet is 4 simple pages which cover the township have been notified about the fire ordinance, as John Roshek has addressed earlier. Also, I'd like to also add another ordinance that you have which leads that it's unlawful for anyone to possess a firearm in their vehicle or on their person on any public street in the township. This is another ordinance that you have that's willfully misleading the public. And I'd like to also add, although I am a member of Michigan Open Carry, I'm the Southeast Coordinator, those that have brought this to your attention are members of Michigan Open Carry, but I'd like to reiterate the fact that these ordinances aren't just restricting open carrying and misleading those that wish to open carry. It's misleading all the public and all your residents and anyone that wishes to visit Macomb Township who also have a concealed pistols license. So I hope you look at this as not only affecting those of us that open carry, but everyone else that also carries a firearm legally underneath their concealed pistols license. In this packet, the first sheet is both ordinances. The second one is simply the law of Michigan that makes your ordinances illegal and unenforceable. I've addressed many cities. Most recently, Harrison Township, I sent them an email. Supervisor sent me an email back saying he forwarded it to their council. Council sent me an email several days later. The following meeting, those ordinances were repealed off the books. So to me, with the township having this notified for them for 6 months, is just dragging their feet. Mr. Gable, you yourself in Macomb Daily quoted that you would address this immediately. You were quoted in the August 14th Macomb Daily that you'll rectify this so we're compliant with the Court of Appeals ruling. 6 months later, with no action, no board discussion, I'm starting to wonder if that was just a matter of getting your name out there and making for good press.
Actually, Mr. Webb, if you look in the very first email that Mr. Roshek I had, it was very clearly stated that we would bring this forward in the spring to work on it because we had a number of other issues we needed to work with, and that we would not be enforcing any of these issues. And our Sheriff's Department, which is our contract legal or contract law enforcement.
I understand that. And to those of you on the board, to the sheriffs, yes, they're aware they're not enforcing it. And Macomb County Sheriff, I have to commend. The Sheriff's Department is one of the best in the state in recognizing all forms of legal carry. However, if you have a member of the public that sees this ordinance and believes that they're seeing someone do something illegal, it does not mean that they're not going to call 911, not be informed properly, or possibly potentially send officers on a call they do not need to be called to, have a citizen who's not breaking the law be momentarily detained for nothing other than following the law. So it's not a matter of me knowing or you knowing or the officers knowing. It's all the public has to be informed. And by repealing these ordinances, the public will be notified, as all ordinance changes are, that these changes are being made. So it's not that you know or I know, because we're aware of what the laws are. It's been discussed, it's been publicized in local papers. However, it's the general public. It's somebody that is bored one day or has been laid off, spending more time on the internet, sees these ordinances, and then makes a 911 call.
I do appreciate your comments, Mr. Webb. I mean, we do have the packet, we have the information. I have to try and keep the time frame to 3 minutes.
Understand. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Robert Harris. I live